Good morning students, welcome back. I am making this video for standard 10 chapter 2. The name of the chapter is Nationalism in India and the subject is history. Now this is the sixth part of my video. This is the sixth and the final part. So without wasting time, let's start. So in the previous class, we have discussed about the outcome of civil disobedience movement. We have discussed about the positive effects of the movement. We have discussed about various groups who supported the movement, various groups, various communities, various professionals who supported the movement. There were some limitations of the movement which were also focused and discussed. We discussed the causes of dilution of the movement. What was the reason that the movement was diluted? In the sixth part, in today's class, we will discuss about the benefits what our Indians have got because of the First and the Second World War. Now, the Indians faced mixed effects in the World War. Now, the British, being the active member in the World War, so British has to fight the battle, the First as well as the Second World War, with very strong nations. But this battle was a matter of financial burden, a financial loss for the British. Though it was a financial loss for us also, for Indians also, but the British, the maximum damage, the maximum collateral damage was faced by the British. British financial condition turned very bad. Now, in many cases, it was also seen that the First World War, the impact of the First World War had brought many positive effects for the Indian industries. Now, you might be very surprised that how war can bring positive effects for India. The First World War, it was quite damaging, it brought devastating effect on the British economy. The British trade was completely paralyzed. Now the British could not carry out overseas trade. The British could not import anything from European countries. Why? Because all the sea routes were closed. As a result of that, what happened? That the Indian industries started to boost up. Earlier, the British used to bring foreign clothes, foreign garments, which were machine-made garments that were brought in India from England. Because of the cheap price, most of the Indians used to purchase those foreign clothes, replacing our Indian khadi, because the khadi was little expensive. So because of that war, because of the World War, the British ships could not come from England. And as a result of that, what happened? That the Indian industrialists as well as the weavers, they started to heal their business. They started to get developed. Their business started to boost up because the Indian weavers, they started to receive orders from the British to stitch uniforms, to make boots for the soldiers, to make hats for the soldiers, to make shoes for the soldiers. Many Indian laborers, they got hired to make ships warships for the British. The Indian businessmen, the Indian business typhoons, they also benefited from this World War. So these were some of the positive effects of the World War that Indians have utilized. Now as the years passed, the feeling of nationalism and patriotism started to boost up in the mind and hearts of the Indians. Now, though India is a single country, it's a common country, but there are some diversities in India. Diversity of culture, diversity of language. So many Indian scholars, many Indian writers, poets, they started to bring Indians to reduce the communication gap, to reduce the cultural gap, and to create a sense of collective belonging. There were different communities in India who got the feeling of certain insecurities. So, in order to finish up all these issues of language gap, cultural gap, religious gap, in order to fulfill these gaps, their idea of sense of collective belonging was done. So this is the idea of the sense of collective belonging. What are the meaning of collective belonging? To give a feeling in the mind of the Indians, that is unity, unite Indians. No matter a person belonging to which religion, which culture, which community, what language, but the sense of collective belonging should be. Now, for example, the national anthem that we sing. Now, the person in Jharkhand, a student in Jharkhand, a person in Jharkhand, sings the same national anthem, and the person who is in Chennai, in Kerala, also sings the same national anthem. The image of Bharat Mata is common for us, a person who is residing in North, also a person who is residing in South, East, West, Central. For everyone, national anthem, national flag, Bharat Mata, everything is same. So this is what is the collective belonging. Every community, every religion, this thing belongs to everyone. So unite Indians, unite their culture. So what was the outcome? It's a common sentiment to unite them and to create a feeling of nationalism and patriotism in the mind. That is why the image of Bharat Mata was created. So to bring a sense that the country is like our mother and we have to protect it. So the first image was created by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. And also he wrote this national anthem. He framed this national anthem. After Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, there were various artists such as Abanindranath Tagore, and there were many other artists who created different images of Bharat Mata, where Bharat Mata was shown in different way, in different image, in different style. The Bharat Mata was designed. So all these were done to boost up the feelings of nationalism. There were folklores, songs, poems, paintings. The folklores, songs, poems that were written by Rabindranath Tagore. Why? To develop the interest in the minds of the people and to bring and to boost up the feeling of nationalism in India. The national flag was designed. The new national flag was designed with saffron on the top, white in the middle and green in the bottom. And in between there was a charkha was drawn. So this national flag, which is not only a flag, it used to give a very strong message of unity, message of peace, and the charkha, which used to give a message of self-work, self-help. So all these things were done by various leaders to carry out, to develop the feeling of nationalism in the mind of the people, so that the people can be united and they could fight with the British. Ultimately, every action, every positive action gets a positive result. Their hard work brought fruitful results, positive results for India. And our country, though our country has to give various sacrifices of our national heroes, but at the end, on 15th August 1947, our India got freedom from British rule. The British rule lasted in India for more than 200 years. And this was written in the history. So this 15th August 1947, this date is very important for us. So in this chapter, we have concluded the nationalism in India. We have seen how the feeling of collective belonging through song, poem, stories, folklores, and different paintings, the feeling of nationalism was created. Cultures were united, language was united, religions were brought together to fight with the colonial rule of British and to bring us freedom from British rule. So with this, I am wrapping up my video, the sixth and the final part. Very soon, I will come with the next video. I will start economics chapter 2. Now, chapter 1 history, I am not going to make a video as of now, but later on I will make a video of chapter 1. So I will wait that the classes should resume, the physical classes should resume, because chapter 1 is very difficult, and in many cases in the video class, teaching chapter 1 nationalism in Europe may or may not be successful, because the chapter is very difficult. So there should be a physical class. So that is why I have kept this chapter 1 for last. So let the lockdown be wrapped up, let everything should become normal. Then I hope that I will be back. So in the next class, I will come with economics chapter 2, and I will release my video very soon. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and goodbye.